Welcome back to our channel. I'm Devanshi Sharma. You're watching Mithaas Services official YouTube channel. In the last video, we spoke about how to optimize your LinkedIn profile with simple 6 steps. If you haven't watched that video yet, go back and check it out. It's a very important video for you. Coming to today's video, we are going to talk about what content can you post on LinkedIn. In this video, I'm going to give you 25 plus ideas to post on your LinkedIn profile. You can be from any profession, but this video is going to help you a lot. The first thing when you're thinking about what to post as a content writer is to batch your content, which means if there are multiple topics that you want to write or you want to share across, batch them into content pillars. For example, if I am a content writer, I want to write about the content industry, AI, my experience and personal growth. These are my 4 pillars, different topics into different pillars. In a similar manner, think about it and ask yourself, what do I want from LinkedIn? Whatever comes into your mind, according to that and according to what you like as a content writer, create 4 batches of content. Okay? If you ask me, for a content writer, 4 pillars of content on LinkedIn can be: first, personal journey as a content writer. Under personal journey, you can include posts like, how did you start content writing? What are the challenges a content writer faces and how you dodged those challenges? Then, what was your high point as a content writer till now? If you've taken a workshop, talk about that. If you've read a book, talk about that. The next thing that you can write upon is, what are your places of learning? Do you read an article? Do you follow certain people? Do you hear a podcast? Mention about that. The fifth thing that you can post in the personal growth is, if there's any appreciation you have received from a client, if you have taken a workshop and somebody said something good to you. These are some pointers that can come under the first pillar as a content writer. If you ask me as an employer, when I look at a profile, if I see a learning approach in a person, it's a big plus one for me. So these posts can help in creating that image that yes, this content writer is eager to learn, is all there talking about growth. The second pillar for you as a content writer on LinkedIn should be talking about your industry. If you're a content writer, talk about the nuances of the content industry. Talk about the role of AI. Talk about ChatGPT. Talk about traditional versus social media content. Talk about long form content, that's articles, blogs, etc., versus short form content, which is small posts, reels, and all around that. If you come from the content writing industry, talk about the pioneer content writers and how they changed the spectrum of content writing. Talk about a blogger who you love. Talk about a book that you absolutely enjoyed as a content writer. Talk about a web series that gave you insights about content writing. Talk about interesting facts about the industry. Talk about how content can add value to someone's life. These are some pointers that you can use to create content around the content writing industry. The third pillar that you can have in mind, or you can batch your content accordingly, is any tip you want to give to a content writer or any case study you want to share. For example, if you did a project and that project was really interesting, talk about it. You may want to name it, you may not want to name it, but talk about the journey. The second thing is, if there was a client that was very challenging, talk about how you dealt with them. If you have had an experience with a very challenging project, talk about how you overcame that project. Let's say you took a project, it was not your space, you struggled, but you completed it. So talk about case studies with your audience. As an employer's point of view, when I read something like this, I would think, oh, I can trust the person with a challenging situation. So, talk about that as well. The last pillar is light-hearted content. You can post book reviews, movie reviews, your perspective on web series. I remember I saw a web series, Please Find Attached from TVF, and I absolutely loved it as a content writer. I wrote about it on LinkedIn. You can post similar content on LinkedIn. These are four pillars that you can follow as a content writer, and I'm sure I've given you more than 25 ideas to follow as a content writer. If you want to learn more about LinkedIn, ask the questions in the comments, we'll give you the answers. But start working on your LinkedIn profile and start growing as a content writer. If you felt that this video helped you, subscribe to the channel and I'm going to see you in the next video. Ta-da!